My name is Tanner ODell, and I am fat. Now, this kind of shocks people a little bit because I'm not necessarily that chubby, you would say. But I am on a mission to change the word fat into a brand new word. So, with my iPhone, I can literally take a picture of myself, use an app, and make myself fat. Now, I'm part of Generation Y, 17 years old. And Generation Y, I have this theory that we are the generation of the awkward. We like weird things. We like awkward things. We watch TV shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom, and we live those people's lives. We not only watch them on TV, but we go through those things with them. So I throw out this word fat, and automatically people are like, what? Fat? That's a bad word. You don't want to call people fat. People get offended, right? Right now, I want everyone to call me fat. On the count of three, say, Tanner, you are fat. 1, 2, 3.
Tanner, you are fat.
Seriously? But guess what? I take that as a compliment. So this is the definition, number 18 in the dictionary for the word fat. Take it in a little bit. Number 18, really? Can't we put the positive ones up at the top? Here's the close-up. So I host a radio show, and me and my co-host were sitting around a coffee shop trying to figure out what we want to call our radio show. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk about having a good lifestyle. But what do we call it to catch people's attention? So we threw out the word fat. We're like, let's call it fat plate. The word plate is trending so much because of USDA's My Plate that they released that let's put the word fat in front of it and totally take that word and turn it into this crazy different word. So what we did is we turned this word fat into a new word, related it to becoming healthy, and we thought it was really stupid at first. I mean, we completely dismissed the idea of calling our radio show Fat Plate right away. But we came back to it. We looked at that definition. We'll go back to the definition one more time because I really want you to take this in. Now, we really thought that either this is going to be branding gold or we're going to go right down the drain with this. But as a 17-year-old, I realized that people, especially my age, especially Generation Y, are interested in weird things, awkward things, so it catches their attention. They hear this on the radio and they're like, wait, what? What? Fat? So let me tell you a little bit about myself, how I got into this position, into a radio show, into these different things that I'm doing at 17 years old. Well, I started watching the Food Network at 12 years old, and I would stay up literally until 3 in the morning and watch Anthony Bourdain on the Travel Channel and then watch Alton Brown on the Food Network and completely became enthralled in this. I was a wannabe celebrity chef at 12 years old, and I would read books. You would never find me reading a book before this. I was completely anti-book because all my friends were anti-book. We'd have to read a book in school, and we'd all be like, no way, we're using Spark Notes. There's no way we're going to read that book. So I started to love cooking. I slowly learned how to crack an egg with one hand, take apart a chicken, all these different and weird things, and I did not want to tell my friends. I was scared because in 7th grade at the time, I was going to be totally rejected. Like, you like to cook? You are a freak. Why the heck would you like to cook? And that's the thing is that, especially teenagers, we want to please all of our friends so much that we deny exactly who we are. So lots of the high schoolers, lots of the kids that you know, maybe some of your kids, probably have a passion that they're scared to share. Now, that's my mission with this word fat, is to turn it into something different. That definition has the word best in it. And to be the best, you have to know who you are. So I went down this journey of trying to teach people who I was. I started a website, tannerodell.com. I started blogging, doing some different things, got published in Better Homes and Gardens, and I was like jumping up and down. I was so excited. And then I got to the point where it's like, okay, so now I'm getting kind of public with this. So do I tell my friends and tell them what I like to do? Because am I still going to be rejected? I don't know. So I told people that I like to cook. I announced it to everyone, and at first, you get called names, you get called, especially like, oh, you're so gay for liking to cook, like that. But the thing is, now that all these celebrity chefs are out there, they're making it more normal. Which do we want it to be necessarily normal? I don't know, because, like we heard earlier, weird is interesting. Weird is attractive to us, especially when we're teenagers, when we like weird things that stand out to us. So, My mission here is to teach everyone how to relate to Generation Y and how we can get them to be fat. The childhood obesity thing right now is just crazy. So, 1 in every 3 kids in the United States is fat. And each kid, each teenager watches over 10,000 different ads, different videos. They listen to different things on the internet. And only 2% of what they listen to relates to anything healthy. So, in that healthy, in quotations, could be like Subway commercial or some kind of fast food commercial that they're, advertising a new salad, something like that. So my goal is to bring this to the media, bring this directly to Generation Y, tell them that you can be the best, and with everyone's help, especially the adults' help, the older generations, we can get people inspired in high school to do what they want. So these are my rules for you. This is what I want you to do, basically, to help me, to help my generation be the best that they can be. Set an example. Eat what you want them to eat. Because you can bring them all the healthy food that you want, but then if they catch a whiff of your Big Mac that you're eating in the closet or something, then they're automatically not going to really understand what you're telling them. So you say, eat this, eat that, no, don't eat that. You have to set that example. Act how you want them to act. There's that old saying that, do as I say, not as I do. That doesn't really work with us anymore. So this Generation Y, if we see you doing bad things, if we see you doing weird things, that's how, eventually we're going to be doing those weird things too. Follow your passion. I don't want to look at my mom, look at my dad and say, they're stuck in a job that they hate. They come home every day and they're complaining, because then I might end up in a job that I hate. So you have to really do what you want to do and share that passion with your kids. This is one of my most important ones, is smile and laugh. Because it's going to be so much easier to talk to your kids, relate with them. If you're constantly happy, smiling, laughing, telling them jokes, really relating with them, and then getting involved too. So use your experience and the things that you know and really relate to them and set an example, but get them involved in what you're doing. So here's that relate. You have to relate to them. This is where it's really difficult, especially for teenagers, especially for high school kids, because parents don't relate to teenagers, obviously. So you have to be patient. And this is a difficult one, because we are constantly doing things. We're in sports, we're in school, we're running around doing all these different things, and you don't have time for all this nonsense, right? So we have to be patient, and you can't judge them on what they're doing. Because, especially this relates back to the word fat too, because if one of your friends, if you're an older lady and one of your friends says, do I look fat in this dress? Look at my butt. Do I look fat in this? And you're going to say, oh no, you look so great. You've never looked better. Well, in high school, it's a different environment. So when a high school girl says, so do I look fat in this? Her friend is going to be, well, yeah. You do. And not only is she going to tell her, she's going to go tell her other friends in this circle and be like, did you see her? She is so fat in that dress. I can't believe that. So as a parent, you have to relate to them. You have to understand that's probably what's going on at school. So you have to say, I'm not going to, add to the problem here. I'm going to directly relate to you. I'm going to be patient, and I'm not going to judge your choices and your decisions. Be the support they need. So they don't just need a friend, parent. They need a parent. So you have to listen. You have to listen to their problems. You probably don't want to listen to most of their problems because lots of them are a little bit nonsense high school problems, right? But that's where the not judging comes in. So you really have to listen to their problems so that you can help them be the best that they can be. You have to help them be fat as they can be. We want them to be really fat. And now help them. Be a mentor. I have a mentor, and he's helped me learn different ways to speak, different things like that. But mentors these days are on short supply, really. There's mentors that help kids that might want to get into their industry, something like that. But you have to really care about their success. Now, my mentor actually cares that I'm going to do well, that I'm going to be successful. And lots of mentors these days, they help you, they give you some information, but they ultimately don't care that you're going to be successful. So when you are someone that's in the business field, a business professional, and you see high school kids coming up to you and say, I want to be where you are. Like, I went to a conference in April, got to speak in the National Restaurant Industry Conference, and one of my idol chefs, Jose Andres, was there. He received the Innovation Award. And I looked up to him like, oh my gosh, I want to be where you are. Big time, big time. Now, since he's a celebrity chef, he's not going to take me as a mentor necessarily yet. So hopefully maybe he'll see this speech and be like, okay, I want to take him as a mentor. But as someone, if you have someone that looks up to you, a high school kid, a younger kid that looks up to you, you have to care about their success. Be a great mentor. Now, here's the be a parent thing. Be a parent, not just a friend. There's, fine line here, but I really think that this goes, as a parent, you're observing all the different things that they're doing in high school. They want to fit in. Now, you have to let them fit in for a while because they have to realize that they have to be there. They have to fit in to realize how much they don't fit in, how much they deserve better, how much they deserve to be outside of the circle. You have to fit in before you realize that. So be a parent, realize that they have to fit in for a while. But eventually they're going to realize their full potential. You're there to help them realize that full potential. Encourage them to create. When I have kids, I'm going to say play with your food. Because, when I was growing up, you had a meal, you had meat, potatoes, some kind of starch, and then some kind of vegetable. You didn't get to leave until you ate all of it or shoved the peas up your nose or something. So you have to encourage them to create. So I'll have my kids play with their food. You can just encourage them to be themselves, to draw, to do whatever they like. There's all kinds of different forms of expression. So, this is the quote that I live my every single day from. Success is a journey, not a destination. We aren't going to wake up all of a sudden and everyone's going to be fat. That's weird to say, honestly. But really, from this definition that I gave you today, we aren't going to just wake up and everyone's automatically going to be the best that they can be. It's a journey. You have to help your kids. We're looking at Generation Y as they are obsessed with crazy things. They have Bieber fever. They are, they're never going to be as successful as we are. But it's completely different atmosphere that they're living in. And success, it's really a journey. We don't want them to all of a sudden be here and then all of a sudden be here. So we want them to take this long journey of change and realizing who they are and really embracing what they love to do. So I'm going to leave you with this quote: success is a journey, not a destination, and let's all just dream to be fat. Thank you.